maybe for the first tournament or two, they're still riding on the coattails of their previous system. And then they make, what, like every grand final pretty much in the year. They become the bridesmaid to a Vitality era. It's maybe a bit of a shame for them that they ended up in that situation, because that's probably what forces their hand to make these roster moves where people think, oh, are you sabotaging your Cologne aspirations, your Astana aspirations, your CAC aspirations? But MOUZ are still aiming high. They're in the quarterfinals, and they'll get a chance to beat down on a Bait that are hoping for a bounce back after earlier today. First map in the pool in this quarterfinal, it's Bait taking on MOUZ on Overpass.
Essential has so much to deal with, and with Zalex around the corner already taking him off, it has to be the players from behind, but MPL finds nothing. A flash in Kenzizor's face leads to JL getting the easiest frag of his return journey back into the Counter-Strike world. Bait are left with only Alex, and the man we featured is left in a 1 versus 5. I said he's good at retakes. I don't know if he's that good.
Yeah, there's a whole lot to piece together. They are very spread out here on the MOUZ side, though. See, Torji was starting to fan out, potentially looking for that exit. But now they realize that Alex is properly going for this. Pulls him back over. Nice shot from Alex, but takes a headshot right back. And no chance at the round. Zorshin puts him down. An emphatic T-side pistol opener from MOUZ. And a good way to get things started on their map pick.
It says a lot about a team's narratives and how much there is to talk about them when we don't discuss the re-entry of the major, once upon a time major MVP into the Counter-Strike world and into MOUZ's ranks. JL.
Well, he's done a lot since then. He has done a lot since then. Major MVP, made quite a few finals with Na'Vi, ends up going on the bench, some content creation on the side, went on a desk, and then into a MOUZ jersey.
Guys, this is how much being talent is difficult and can strain you out and really challenge you. Is that JL, one look at his future on the desk and he realized, nah, I still gotta play. MOUZ, that team that doesn't win anything, and everyone is like, why are they so good but also so bad? Let me join them.
Listen, I have to say, for as much as MOUZ tried to dismiss the aura conversations, they've picked up a guy that, can channel fat and energy, likable character, can serve as this lightning rod for a lot of the criticisms, because, listen, he's a charismatic guy, and he has brought an energy to the team that was kind of missing for some time for MOUZ.
Loves to play off of a crowd as well.
Yeah, so they know what they're doing over there. It's been working so far.
Bait, on the other hand, we're hoping that MOUZ would not know what they're doing.
Yeah, very wishful thinking, really. A team that placed 3rd place at Astana in their debut with this new look roster.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, they make it to the semifinals and lose to, let's just check my notes, Spirit, who ended up becoming the winners of the whole tournament. And,
yeah, I heard they're good.
And Donk was on a heater at Astana.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me that one. He almost always is.
Hey, listen, there have been, the first outing with Sotfik as the coach behind him. Donk actually had a pretty not so great event for his standards. So it's not all peachy all the time. Donk is human. And then he reminds himself that he's more than that.
Double nade is good. Kenzizor and Essential already brought down low in their initial gun round.
Yeah, seeing that more and more. A lot of teams trying to counteract just how aggressive you can be peeking into the con door once that's blown open. That double nade is an excellent way to address it.
It's also one of the reasons why we've seen so many more teams try and use the boost up on the bomb site itself to try and get a pair through the connector.
This is under a lot of pressure and jiggles the wrong way, not fully prepared for a fight, but Torji was. head clean off, and low HP bars on the bait side. They don't expect KenZor to be a fast respondent on this A play, so Zelix is down, and it's into a 4-on-4. NPL just sandwiched between Con and Short Pipe. It's a man advantage back for MOUZ.
KenZor maybe able to get the better of JL over here. JL turned away, and Alex finding Spinks is a big one as well. But the problem is Kenzie's life is forfeit. Essential, really the man who has to take control of this round, and with a Molotov extinguishing, he wasn't expecting that.
Flank out Con.
Being planted. Won't be able to stop the bomb from being planted, but at least it can turn it into a 2 versus 1. Alex has flashes as well. Needs to use them. Otherwise, both these CT players are incredibly low. The Galil perfect for the job. And Zershin's not waiting for it. Looking to close the distance. Alex is gone, and with that, he gets full access to the bomb. There's no way that a Sentinel can defuse this one out. No kit, no HP, no chance, even with the smoke being deployed. Zershin spots out that he's moved away as well, so he knows this is going to be a CT trying to save. Sticks around just in case.
Yeah, I mean, very well done there from Zershin. I mean, they didn't have full confirmation on the low health bars that existed on those last remaining players, and Essential won't even get out with his life. But he saw how passively they were playing it. He found the gap they weren't expecting, and Bait are left wanting. They got a lot of impact out of KenZor to rectify that lost position inside of the bathrooms, but it's not enough when Zershin's coming in clutch. MP9 for Essential, everyone else on pistols here for Bait. It's a 3-0 start from MOUZ out the gate.
And I know that we said that Bait was never really supposed to look like they stand too much of a chance over here in Overpass, but getting some comfort in their rounds is incredibly important, and Sizzy just picked up a quick little snack out over in Connector.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. He like kick flipped the HE and then hit a headshot. Tanked a bit of damage for it.
Points.
But yeah, nicely done from Sizzy to give them a chance. Because now they're looking to stack this B bomb site, and right now MOUZ are congregating that direction. NPL's got info out long, so they'll know that this stack is in the right place.
Essential's also got the right weapon for the job over here with the MP9. You can always come through with a quick slide out, peek in. KenZor has a flashbang. If there's any time to go, it would be now, but doesn't feel like they're going to be committing. Sentinel happy for information. Spotted out 2 players, and now with a flashbang through, it's a peek from Alex that gets immediately punished. Zelix is not having any of these forced by shenanigans, but Sizzy come through with his second. It's now 3 versus 3 as Zelix responds. Zershin looking for a little bit more containment. Jumping shot from his Sentinel is perfect, and as Zershin is sidelined, NPL picked up that fallen AK. Dorsey left alone. 1 versus 2, both players in water. As Sentinel swings out, and Bait strike in with their first magnificent round from Sizzy, sure, but that jumping headshot would not have felt good.
I mean, I think it did so much to confuse the roster. Zershin's freaking out, shooting up ghosts or pipes. Not a fan of the plumbing. Just totally frantic here for MOUZ. I mean, this messes things up entirely. Zelix is supposed to be that first one in to create some room, some chaos, but they get totally spun out. Huge round from Essential. And money kind of shattered here for MOUZ. That's what happens when you win a clutch with 1 survivor and then lose to the half-buy.
Sizzy still has a lot to do over here. Solitary defender off this A-bomb site. KenZor will be asked to rotate sooner rather than later, but MOUZ are accelerating. This is going to be a fast play, and with a smoke drop down, Zelix gets the immediate dome on a Sizzy. Not ready after the jump spot, and Zelix is able to spot that out as well. NPL won't have an easy pathway back over through the connector because of where Xerxen is positioned, and the CTs will just turn back and save. They want nothing to do with this round.
Yeah, this could be a massive problem. You know, noted a similar issue for Pain Gaming on their overpass. Bait on CT side. There could be some real vulnerabilities on that B-bomb site. There's also a lot of runway that is offered up to MOUZ in this round where there's no one that can support Sizzy, no one that can quick respond information out from the connector. These aren't things that Bait are piecing together to get a read on what's happening in the map. And even just with a lurk smoke, some early util over on A, Sizzy thought he could swing out and take a timing, post up on front bathrooms, but just gets bodied by a Zelix that has been so sharp. Bait are
Even
probably
in the
going to...
anti-force by Zelix was the player keeping control over the B-bomb site until finally they needed the flying MP9 to take him down.
Yeah, that's not a replicatable solution to dealing with this young kid.
It's still early days, but it feels like another graduate from the most prestigious academy system in the world, bar one perhaps. Spirit could give them a run for their money in terms of quality of player produced, but it does feel like they're having an unfair advantage with MOUZ. Zelix comes out with a quick one. Against Zor, chance for a double will shut them down. Sizzy steals, actually. That second kill, and that leaves this bomb on an island. JL, however, looking to make it a little bit easier to get back to shore.
Oh, it's just any chance they look like they have for a moment, it's just snatched from the jaws of victory. This is looking like it might be a bad day at the office for Bait. Playing an empowered MIBR at the start of the day, and now a MOUZ that have, again, just so many potential win conditions.
Essential's pushing forward over here. He gets the immediate kill and dodges out Dorsey. Now, he has a smoke as well. Let's not forget that a smoke down in the face will give him place to reposition. And Alex is pushed through. Essential knows this is all him. This is a 1 versus 2 for the round. Smoke's going to be there for another 8 seconds or so, and he has to make a decision on how to play this. Dice will only offer him so much, and it's not enough. Shot through the side door as Spinks will spot out his shoulder. And Alex, bomb will not be offered up to him either. Looking to come in from behind if he can take down Spinks, deal with him, make this a 1 versus 1 with an Opper. Certainly will be chances, but even killing Dorsey here will mean very little. Dorsey ducks away to safety, establishes that crossfire, baits out his elbow, and Spinks can be the one to put Alex to bed.
Yeah, I mean, when they're down a man, JL double kill. When they're again in a tough spot, Spinks double kill. Really nicely handled by MOUZ to catch these players rotating around. Even really, it maybe should have been a chance for a JL triple when Essential went investigating on that A-bomb site. But Bait are, in a lot of ways, you know, flying a little bit blind. When it gets reduced to 3-on-3s, 2-on-2s, that CT side, it can be incredibly difficult. You have to take gambles. There's a lot of open territory on the map. Players can slip by, flank you. If you're not aware of the timings. Beautiful stuff from JL. Essential tried, but too much to handle later down the line was Spinks. I do think Bait are going to have to continue to be active on the map. I mean, this time they started with a bit of Fountains pressure over on middle. They get a couple of those opening kills. They just need to be able to find those, fall back, retain them, suppress MOUZ, whatever they need to do. But playing inside of the sites doesn't look like it's going to be the solution.
Things might look to cheat past this one. He's already past the smoke. Alex wins the duel. He wasn't expecting that in the slightest. Left with 3 HP and still able to use his utility. That might be the most important part of it. They dissuade MOUZ from going for a B hit, but Zelix wants to reinitiate. There's a smoke down preventing vision. And maybe that's for the best to double up at barrels, regardless of whether Alex has 3 HP or 100, would still be dangerous.
I think they're going to try and re-Molotov off those barrels. Maybe hit it with an HE, that would certainly go a long way. Alex on that 3 health, he's trying to play as that bait so that Essential goes uncleared.
Well, that's a pretty good bait right there. Gets damage on the Torsi as well. And now when the Molotov finally strikes through, it's Essential who's left in the flames, still able to get one more kill. How much will they find on this B bomb site? What a safety mission from Alex.
Yeah, I'm saying playing inside of the sites won't do them any good, but Alex makes good on a promise from barrels. 2 kills on that 3 HP, the exchange after he gets Molotoved out, players swinging him at the same time, and then just trying his best to set his teammate up, but called over that reinforcements, and KenZor off to a pretty solid start. Even in the rounds that Bait have been losing, he's been finding his impact. A lovely spray down to help convert the round there for Bait. First timeout called for MOUZ. No reason to when things are going well, but there was a lot of hesitation. They throw that first volley of utility, they take the challenge, they don't follow it up, they re-exec, and maybe missing some of that lethality. Two times Bait have won rounds, both times MOUZ have had to come in with a pretty broken bye. Hero AK for Zelix, once again. Last time Sizzy was alone, and that was the only kill that was needed to convert the round back for MOUZ. This time Sizzy has company.
And company doesn't look like it's very polite, not even looking at him as they enter his house. Sizzy able to back off. A re-peek over here would be dangerous, but he's certainly thinking about it. The problem is with the smoke on the other side, a player could have walked through onto the right as well. So Sizzy's really boxed in. He knows his life is going to be forfeit soon. And NPL's been asked to come over with a bit more assistance, but can they get a flash from KenZor? That's the only way NPL has a favorable duel. Sizzy gets the first kill though, and with them looking away, at least NPL's good for one. Sizzy's hunting for more. JL on the deagle, a famous man with the sidearm. But it's not going to be JL to get the kill. It's Searching to come through, pick up the op as well, and have his head on the floor in exchange. JL, and AK recovered a bit too late, and Bait will finally reset the MOUZ economy.
Yeah, really nicely done from KenZor. He's a player that can be a little up and down on this team, but on the CT side of Overpass so far, he's doing a fantastic job of finding kills back. When he loses Sizzy in the divider in a prior round, he's re-aggressing, he's finding timings, he's getting a double kill. This time, you know, he finds a double kill out on long as just support. But he's coming away with these multis, and that is a must against a MOUZ that look like they might run away with the start of this game. The Bait have other plans. Only 3 rounds so far on the CT side, but this is the easiest one they've had so far, up against Glocks. Good boost to pull out, especially if you think you're against a low buy. Hopefully you don't get nade stacked, but they disassemble the boost. KenZ does jump spot it. Spam down range, 0 bullets connect, 4 targets.
Fast play up B. Well, the Glocks could maybe give you a chance to get a bomb
really
plant in, but beyond that...
Oh, they're damn blind.
When you're being given freebies, take them. That's what KenZor says. 2 for 1, and that's maybe a little bit less clean than you'd like it to be. Tarzi's able to move over, recover an M4 as well as Zershin walks into the certain jaws of Alex's death. NPL, well, he'll shut him down. For Bait, these rounds being clean are just as important for the actual round score in their economy as they are for, you know, just their morale.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to see that they keep at least 3 alive.
You see the ramifications on the economy for MOUZ, so the same would be doubly felt on that CT side. Everything's a little bit more expensive. But I want to see Sizzy succeed. He's been a big reason as to some of the uptick in performance from Bait, where they were just shy of making playoffs again at Atlanta, losing to Vitality in the groups for that position. So
who does that?
Be a great time for Sizzy to show us what he's made of when it matters most. Triple short setup.
Ooh, Jail missed jump. They're gonna know where they are, but the op backs off. Jail gets the kill for free because of Exertion as well. Peeking into a scope in Sizzy is dangerous, and he doesn't lose his life as the HE doesn't go where it's supposed to.
I mean, this is super nervy for Bait. They had the setup that they wanted, but they still got caught off guard. Boost up here for Kenzie. See if he can catch them relocating through Con, but now making noise, so an idea of what Bait were up to, but they're starting to lean themselves away. They're rotating through spawn, leaving Sizzy by himself.
And they realize that.
Yeah.
The second you said it, like, oops.
We probably shouldn't do this.
Not.
An AWP solo
Especially
B.
because NPL has so much information out towards A, but Sizzy's getting really exploratory. He knows he needs to get a kill over here before the flashbang actually pops forward, and this angle's on back for it. First kill comes out, second is found as well. Sizzy performing underneath duress. He's still got 2 riflers to help make up for his loss. And as the MOUZ scores start to push forward with 15 seconds left, this gray screen in front of them is not helpful in the slightest. Kenzie Zor finds 2 through the smoke, and Torji left wanting. 3 alive for Bait. Again, Sizzy's performance really bailing them out.
Yeah, I mean, he has no business doubling up from that monster pipe with an AWP. They tried to hunt him down for that trade. It has to be an instant shot, bolting back that AWP. And then Kenzie, he just feels like an inevitability right now. Another double kill. I think that might be his 5th multi-kill. He is finding a whole lot of success. Right place, right time.
1 multi-kill every 2 rounds isn't bad at all. And for the MOUZ cam, they've done bare minimum. They've found the 5 rounds on their key side, but they'd like to make it more. These Tech 9s could certainly help them, but that's only if the Sentinel doesn't mow them down. How's he turned around for 3? That is a Sentinel feeling good.
Yeah, just tried to run in with limited utility, with limited resources. I mean, hit with a few flashes, but just ahead enough on the play, ready to brawl were Bait. So another timeout called. Cyclone is not satisfied. I mean, this is now 5 rounds in a row by Bait. It was a 1-5 scoreline, and it's with the way that this game has turned, Bait could be in for 7 from that CT side, which is a hell of a recovery. Now, a lot of the way I premised this encounter was just player caliber and quality on MOUZ.
Yeah.
Listen, Bait are a team that have a lot of players with flair. They have the capabilities to do it. I would say they don't necessarily have a support player, which is perhaps a little odd, something they need to figure out. But if Bait are finding successes, fighting aggressively, then things can certainly take a turn for the worse for MOUZ. Kenzie again finding impact, this time on the entry. An opener that will go a long way for the last round of the half.
Ooh, Knight could have been really good. Just a little bit off the mark, otherwise JL would have had his body tuck into it. Kenzie threatens out the spot with a jump initially, and as soon as JL puts his AWP away, misses out on the timing. Setup in the toilets is good. The only way to get past is if Zelix wants to speed through long, and he won't feel comfortable making a move like that alone.
It's such a powerful bathroom setup here for Bait. This round is looking good. Oh, until that happens. Xertion, you have ready for the following. Reads what the setup's going to be. Sizzy going back for more inside of the bathrooms. Maintains that man advantage. Bomb dropped and incendiaried off. Sizzy sizzling inside of shorts. And with Zelix last man standing, 30 seconds left, he tries to flank on in, but Bait have his number. A fantastic showing from Sizzy, but the multi-kills just kept on coming in for Kenzie, and without that, Bait might have not sparked what was a comeback in that first half.
7-5, 6 rounds in a row for the Bait side. MOUZ felt like they were in a very comfortable position for their so far unblemished overpass as of the last few months. And Zelix, to the credit of Bait, they were able to deal with him. He calms down a lot more after that first set of 3-4 rounds that they're able to collect. He was, what, 6-2, 7-2, something like it. Ends up 7-8. Bait stopped leaking out kills on that A bomb site, start focusing a lot more on to B, while still having, you know, NPL, credit to him, taking a lot more of a forward-facing position, right? How many times do we see NPL having toilets control when the B side hit is coming through in the second part of the half compared to the first, where most of the time you had someone playing far back on the bomb side and Bait was constantly caught in confusion. It's great adjustments, and MOUZ, well, they're going to have to hope that Bait doesn't have those same adjustments coming into this T side.
It did seem as though there was just less detailing from MOUZ as well as the half went on. You know, they were going in with great flashes, bursts, executes. They were catching Bait players with utility, and then that kind of stopped towards the tail end of that first half. Maybe that's why Cyclone decided 2 timeouts were necessary. But Bait have that advantage moving into the T side to show that same prowess, that same energy that has brought them into this advantage in the first place. Already showing some presence over towards middle. So Torji backing away, calling some reinforcements over. But no real signs of intent yet from Bait.
Pistol will be a bit of a pacemaker from MOUZ.
Got short control on the MOUZ side as well. Xertion is outside that condor.
He's actually not just outside the condor, he's inside through and found the bomb and 2. Why stop there when you can make a 3? Dualies have to be good for something, and apparently it's only the double. JL might not be expected. Why would there be a player who's waited behind? Well, NPL expects all, and with that it's back to a 3-on-3. Flash is good, but it means Alex has to make a move on. Alex versus Zex, it's the battle of the Lex, but it's NPL who again chimes in with a double on the Dualies. It is beauty in display over on the B bomb side.
Last bullet there for NPL as well, so instant headshot definitely felt necessary. Huge bailout. JL looked like he was in a great position after Xertion causes so much chaos out from connector. NPL winning that fight just allowed them to continue running past their paces into this B-bomb site. And so the good times keep on rolling here for Bait. Graphic usually puts them on fire for 5 rounds straight, but they're still on fire. They have still not seeded around in 7.
Yeah, I think change of the half might reflect that on the HUD, but hey, if they get to 12, they get to go all over again.
Okay, so we've seen that before. You know, you can be hot on one side and not so hot on the other. So
it's true.
Like to temperature check each half. I'm blind, they're blind, we're all blind together.
Xertion. Alex is taken down over there. Trades are spectacular, and Bait are feeling the pressure. No bomb. They have to move past Dorsey. Oh. Dorsey misses out on the first, but guess what? He's got a sidearm. USB against 11 HP. Hell yeah. That's what he wants.
What do you do now if you're Essential? I mean, the map has been exposed. He's making noise running away from long. JL relaying those comms, trying to cut him off and play a position that he's hoping Essential simply doesn't anticipate. Yeah, he's dancing around the cover beautifully there from JL, using the audio cues to his advantage, and just like that, forced by answered back by MOUZ. They don't get trampled over. They don't lose 8 rounds straight.
What a consolation.
Well, when you start 5-1, you are hoping for a better scoreline exiting the half than 5-7.
Babe just calls a timeout, and then Cyclone is like, guys, see, no one beats us 8 in a row. Yeah. Unless it's grand finals.
Yeah,
but
well.
Bait... Bait's in a position over here where another 4-spy win for them is certainly in the cards, but MOUZ have come through with a whole lot of rifles. There's times like this where you want to see a nice execute, probably onto the B-bomb site, but you need fire for that, and I don't mean metaphorical, I mean quite literally, you probably need Molotovs. Metaphorical fire helps too, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of basketball movies. That's all you need.
Yeah,
come on, coach, put me in the game.
We don't have enough VFX artists for that. A lot of early damage done into Bait. Yeah, I mean, NPL's taken low. He was inside of Connector, outside of Monster. Essential takes a bullet or two. So not the hottest start. Those metaphorical flames you're talking about, I ain't seeing them yet.
You're not supposed to see them, Michael. They're a metaphor, dumbass.
then how did you see them in the basketball movies, man?
My heart. JL's a man with a lot of heart, and with flashes coming over, he needs maybe less of it. Oh no, he's taken pity. He's taken down. Zelix now looking out from short water, up for 2. Instant frags are good, and he'll give Yuanshen time to come on over. Bomb can't be planted, and Kensizor, well, he's in enemy territory. But they're expecting him there. Spinks is turning around to check the angle. It's a winnable fight, and it was winnable.
Yeah, if there's one thing that lurkers hate most is getting shot in the back. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Sphinx making sure that that wasn't a possibility. And nicely handled from Zelix, all things considered. JL got absolutely destroyed by the flashbangs. Caught the pillar, ran over. And if Zelix didn't get those first 2, then Bait might have likely just taken over the whole site. Now this is real pack play. A whole pack of Glocks.
Well, you think the team should have a Glock song whenever they're on Glocks and they know they're gonna probably lose around, just like hi ho, it's off to Glock we go.
Right. So they're dwarves in your mind.
Yeah, with the Glocks, they really feel like it.
This is, I mean, that's an M4 given over.
Yeah, and he is the multi-kill man. Or she's kind of low on this B-bomb site. And that's why they won't go there. CTs aren't as bothered about taking hits for their economy as they would be normally, because obviously they also stole a lot of rifles. Zershan's holding an AK for a reason, but I don't know why he's spraying that AK, Michael. It's a good question to ask, and with 30 seconds, let's see whether it leads him anywhere. Sizzy, only with the Glock, and well, even with that not in his hands, we'll give Dorsey the freest kill he could.
As long as Kenzie doesn't bring this M4 or give it back to them. I mean, to be honest, this is a pretty successful round. Torji won't be able to get his hands on an M4. Come to this, or they come away from this round with less rifles than they started for just Glocks. That's decent. They still win the round, but that is a curious spam. You know, I understand Zershan's getting shot, but he's in front of the smoke. His teammate's not covering the smoke for him. He's reloading in front of the smoke. They're on Glocks. If there's any round where players are going to do crazy things around smokes, it's probably that one.
True.
Anyway, no significant consequences outside of the weaponry that they bring forth. Spinks on that MP9. Could have afforded the upgrade, but hoping that he won't need to. Weapons are bought up by bait. Very slow approach this time over from bait. They can be a squad that love grouping and going for these pack hits, especially if you get them on maps like, you know, a Mirage or an Ancient. Those are their bread and butter type maps, and it's where they can be at their most devastating when you just give them these raw duels and they know how to trade off one another. On Overpass, it's a bit more spread. They know that establishing map control and poking and probing can be pretty hard to deal with at the CT side. Flash in for connector. NPL brought down very low. Flash into short, and Zelex full blinded. Essential capitalizes, but Tails right behind him, so it's a trade. And Spinks finishes off the job inside of Con. Still traded back, 3-on-3 still, but only 30 seconds left for Bait to make their move.
They have a lot of utility though, and that's where it could be problematic. Jail's position spotted out as well. They can be on a move fast. The problem is, do they expect Zershan to still be hidden away behind barrels? Molotov goes to his side. It will not spread out to his feet. Those joggers are looking hot, sure, but they're not looking singed. And now as he looks to re-peek back out over, it'll be two players completely unexpecting him. The bomb can still be planted though, and with Kensizor coming in from behind, he turns it into a 1 versus 2. Possibilities to be explored as he moves back over to Monster, and that's what Zershan is covering off. They don't have a kit, Michael. That could be a serious problem for them. Dorsey's turned around, will not be ready at all, and Zershan not on the bomb. Kensizor knows that he's got the advantage now. Peeks out, it's a headshot as well, and had there been even a lick of damage from the flames, had the world had any justice in it, then Kenzie would have been taking this clutch away.
Oh my god, I mean, he did so much in that moment. The reposition is right on time. Torchy doesn't expect it, still watching the edge of the smoke, maybe expecting that he has to play it from short. It's planted for short. That's the most astute position he could be from, or could be playing from, but yeah, the fact he sidelined Torji, Zershan was under a lot of pressure there. Kit was on the other side of short, inside of a smoke. Not sure that the MOUZ players knew how to communicate it, but such a chance for a clutch. But MOUZ have successfully bounced back.
And JL is ready for them to push through. The flashes weren't there. They tried to contact in, and all they'd make is contact with the end.
Yeah, that may be simply the case here for Bait. I mean, losing to that force buy resets that T side. MOUZ hit 4 in a row. Not for lack of it being close. But we've seen that with quite a few teams that have been in attendance at this tournament. Pistol rounds, lack of conversions, especially on the B stream. This just happened a ton.
Yeah. It's kind of our brand.
Yeah, especially for these teams that have been teetering on the edge of touching tier 1. That it happens the most too. It's the one thing that a lot of teams seem to need to straighten up, but it's also a hard one to necessarily fix, because Well, your opponent doesn't a force buy, so much of that changes so often. He gets 1 kill on the exit, but that's all she wrote. 10th round here for MOUZ, 3 away from closing their map pick. I'm glad to see that Sizzy has brought that AWP out on the T side. Then playing these passive positions on the MOUZ roster. Sure, they're trying to be proactive in the mid round, but that Sizzy AWP was really hitting on CT, and I think it ended up becoming another one of these catalysts that helped propel them into the advantage out of that defensive half. He's been an X-Factor player. He's been a difference maker in the struggles that Bait have had fulfilling the AWP position on this roster. Sizzy has broke past most people's expectations. What do you mean you've gone from players that actually were on more established teams or had a bit more playing experience, and you've gone down to an academy roster to pluck Sizzy out, and he's been the best look so far.
Yeah.
Children really are the future.
And unfortunately for Bait, their past is what's maybe a little bit shaky right now. Alex and NPL both 9 and 12 apiece. You can always forgive Alex. Doesn't feel that way for NPL, not when he's no longer got the leadership mantle on him in the same way.
Good tag.
Shell will be low. All in the meanwhile, Zalex, the other academy prospect from MOUZ, starts to back off. They're considering the A-bomb site, and the bomb isn't despawn. That's okay. That can be remedied.
They were considering the whole map until hitting that tag.
How can MOUZ make a guess if we can't either?
Yeah. Nothing to read if we don't write things down.
Exactly. Time's running low. And MOUZ, they've made the right moves. They're stacking 4 players out towards this B-bomb site. Torsi will be here soon as well. And with 3 in water, this is going to be a tough ask. Grenades don't land at the very least. The CTs don't do too much damage with their utility, and as Kensizor moves out, he spots out Zershin, but with the smoke still to enter, there's only one way forward. They don't have flashes to move through, no utility available. Trying to go for the bomb plot directly. Zelex can't interrupt it, and he's being dealt damage back as he reveals position. The HE is still not finishing off the job. That's what Spinks is there for, and JL as well. Might have been brought down to 18 HP earlier on, but you never got to see him, and you might never do so even now. 2 versus 4, Bait's desperation will not help him here. Alex peeks out, doesn't get even the 1, and Kensizor can't finish either one of them. 3 players on red HP, but red is not dead, and MOUZ are on 11 as a result of that.
That's crazy, because if Kenzie killed those 2 players, the next one over was the low health player from the start, and that likely would have lined him up for a triple. Spinks was still far away, playing his own game inside of Connector. That could have been a massive hero moment there for Kenzie, but just a bullet shy on every opponent. And so MOUZ just keep the good times rolling. That was a tough B-bomb site to crack. I mean, 30-second execs, defensive smoke down by the CTs, incendiary down, HEs landing on the top of your head, flashes as well. And what Bait really want in those types of situations is to reduce the board. They want to simplify, but when time is against you, when you have to wait out the incendiary, the smokes, you're not being given straight head-to-head fights that just spam harassing you the whole time, you don't have a lot of options. And so they can't create a perimeter. They're basically trapped at Monster as the only place that they can play from. So that was a little rough to look at there for Bait, but all according to plan there for MOUZ. They had the util to stall and be annoying.
Flash is good. Zershin stays. They don't check it. Not expecting the smaller boost to be the most effective. And Bait have run out of options. It's no longer about running. We're at 3 versus 5 with non-premium rifles with very little utility. And with a team in front of you that is looking all too sharp. And every turn.
Yeah.
7 rounds in a row, that's what Bait found, but outside of that purple patch, it's all looked rather black.
The team play is looking good. That's coordination on the double swing. Oh, they might. He's gonna knife Sizzy. He's gonna knife Sizzy. JL, you bully. Youngest kid on the roster, and he performs a precision incision. First map looking likely here for MOUZ on Overpass. Of course, he just had to do it to him.
Yeah.
This is the aura MOUZ paid for.
Just imagine the CEO sitting and watching this map being like, please, is this finally, are we getting aura? And they might be. Don't worry, Mr. CEO. Your investment looks pretty damn good right now. Bait. They don't like being on the other side of a stock market. That doesn't seem particularly bullish on them. Says he consigned to the Deagle. And he's had his moments with it. One particularly big one that spurred Bait on in the first place.
Hoping for a mistake. Someone to overplay their hand. One of the prior rounds where MOUZ had stacked 4 on B. Spinks had cleared things out through long towards those bathrooms. Had gotten a whole lot of information. This time they play inside of sites. And MOUZ are seemingly in the right spot. Bathrooms compromised. 30 seconds remain here for Bait to try and set up their plan. Torji spotting a player out at long, and it's a shot, a swing, and a miss. But Bait need to go. They need to go quickly because they need to suss out every player on the defense. Spinks deals with that player at long. Torji blinded up, and as he commits to bouncing around the back of this bomb site, they'll try and track down Spinks over at long. Alex deals with him, but the AWP of Torji is singing loud and proud. Sizzy will hit the deck all the same. MOUZ bounce back considerably. They lose the second half pistol, win with the force buy, and simply do not look back. That overpass ends in emphatic fashion.
Absolutely magnificent performance coming out from MOUZ over there. Sure, there's a big blip on the radar in the middle, but at the end of the day, they have almost every single one of their players performing when they're needed, and you know he has it in him, but actually manifesting that in the most important moments has always been where he struggled.
Yeah, and I think it's also a question about leadership is what I wanted to say, is that, you know, Torji, when they were going through the Broline changes, I could see that guy talking a whole lot, especially on those CT sides, and maybe it was him calling his own number, getting a read on the game, and we don't know how much of that is now taken over by Xerxen, perhaps. You know, having a clear hierarchy of the voices that are going to lead you to victory is a key factor in being a top team. So MOUZ have a lot to account for, a lot to improve upon, but they've been showing some good stuff so far in the early versions of this roster. CT side start here for MOUZ, but a very fast pistol from Bait. Already through red, NPL, Sizzy combined for 3, and even though the trades are there back from Zelex, it puts JL in a 1-on-3.
He's back!
Bomb has been planted.
The goat nipple is back. JL though over here, 1 versus 3, hoping that he can pull off some ancient clutches. This is what he's known for, but maybe with the Deagle, not with the USB.
Yeah, and maybe only in a major grand final.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, he played unbelievably there, but 1v3 versus Bait, too much to handle. Nice stuff. I mean, immediate call to action there from Bait. Went for a fast idea, smoked down Donut, smoke in the red room, they bridge past it, they break through, and they get all the kills they're looking for to finish on that A site. So playing pacey, playing as a pack. from the start, but expect them to spread their wings a bit on this T side. JL with the Deeg, down ramp. Seen that one before, but it's a really solid opener in the force buy.
Wow. Dorsey comes through with a quick kill, and Zelex can turn around, and KenZor wasn't ready for that second player. Bait, you've been forced.
Oh, it's happened again.
That's exactly what he said. Alex's face, mimicking your voice.
It's as though every fight just went terribly wrong. JL 1 Deeg over at ramp. Torji instant headshot as they start crawling into Donut. And then Zelex pounces on what is a weakness. Massive man advantage. Just springs to life. Gets 2 to follow. Or rather, sorry, 3 to follow. Well, win the pistol, lose the force buy. Wouldn't be the B stream without it.
Indeed. I am going to go back and count how many we've had at some point. You know, we used to say this is a characteristic of Asian Counter-Strike. Michael, maybe the problem was we were casting Asian Counter-Strike all along.
Yeah, it's just followed us throughout all of our games here at the CAC. Didn't matter which regions we're playing. But we are playing in Asia, in Shanghai, so...
Indeed.
Maybe that's the...
Isn't all Counter-Strike Asian in that case?
In a way, I suppose.
Yeah. Might as well be off to a swimming start. Which, to be fair, is slower than a running start. Cosplay out towards B is just going to lead into Zershin farming them up. Now, they do get 2 kills in a bomb plant. This isn't terrible at all. MP9 that was recovered will not be able to do much, and Bait will take the small wins. But not the big ones.
Yeah, I think they would really like the big ones, considering they've been struggling to get any of the big ones on this map today.
Oh, you gotta fight for those then?
Yep. Bait need to rally. I mean, it's a tough day. Going from that group stage straight to the opening quarterfinals. Puts a lot of strain on your ability to prepare. You have to be able to manage your energy levels as well. You know, you're talking about Sizzy maybe not looking so good in the game earlier against MIBR. Kenzie as well. And then starting to look a little better coming into the map, into map 1 here. The problem with Bait is, and has continued to be, that we know they have fraggers on this team, but having more than 1 or 2 players that look like they're in form, anything past that is a difficulty.
Zelex with 1 over here, but NPL coming in from behind. Now he does have time to come through for a second kill. The problem is Zershin's done the same. And when they're already a man up, that leads to a big advantage. Nice shot from Sizzy. I'd love to see that replay.
That's a huge kill to find. I mean, Zershin hit perfect timing. He was just hoping to escape. And it's brought it back to a 2-on-2 where a lot of the map is kind of open for Bait to take. Oh, JL dealt with as well, just peering out from the top side of cave. So 1-on-2. Torji covers the cross, though. They thought they'd beat the timing, but he's here in the nick of time. Bomb out in the open. Essential's trying to play for the kill. Trying to be tricky.
I think he's done it. But he's worried about Torzy having backed off. Timing is going to be of the essence of a hair. He thinks Torzy went back over towards the A bomb site, but at least he'll have the bomb plant. Jiggling this out is going to be incredibly difficult. These are the shots that Torzy hits, but that's only if he's looking at them. Torzy's turned away. This one-on-one, this head-to-head. Torzy finds the backstab. It was inevitable that someone would be able to be the hidden Viper. Torzy ends up stealing the round. Zizzy trying to get the crossover into the bomb site without throwing any utility, without a flash, without anyone there nearby either. And he will be punished.
I mean, it was just how quickly Torji was there. The fact he played it so passively, played it so slow. This is a beautiful shot from Sizzy. Incredible flick. But it's not enough to secure the round win. Torji coming in clutch. A slow played 1v1. I missed elbow smoke from MOUZ. Sails a little too deep. No one actually challenging mid control though, so it's not really directly consequential aside from Zershin attempting to get eyes on middle. Yeah, that's also an awkward placement for that smoke in towards Cheetah, but
Man.
They push down ramp and they've picked off Essential, just trying to run a very passive default.
It's up for KenZor to find, but Spinks over here needs to come up with a double. Makes it so MOUZ can maintain advantage, and Zershin will go out and extend it. A deep incendiary makes it harder for Nipple to peek, but as he does get the eye line out, it's great damage, no kills. Beyond just the one on Zelix. Has to cross over, not a single bullet fired out from MOUZ, and NPL is out of there. Over to the B-bomb side he goes. He's going to take his chances with this one, but MOUZ will not allow him to do so too easily. They're leaning back to B.
Yeah, good read by JL. He got ahead of this play very early. NPL out in the open, just trying to plan, hoping that they would still be preoccupied with the A play. But JL's in the right spot. Lovely spray down there from Spinks. Maybe exhausted a few too many bullets between players. But without that, they were just going to roll over that A site.
Man, looking at JL's player cameras, it's just... He finds that kill, he's just shaking his head, laughing away like, ha, he thought he could get one over me. It's just nice to see him back. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, for how much damage was done onto NPL with the position he had on that A site, you could see quite a few players just try and bide their time, see if they reinvestigate A fully. But as soon as he saw that, JL started hoofing it over to B. Maybe he's surprised with how successful MOUZ has been with his re-edition so quickly.
Zershin?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's coming from behind all of them. This is going to be the most unfair duel you can imagine. 5 versus 2 will at least be whittled down, but it goes both ways as Alex is alone. 1 versus 4, and Zalex happy to settle him in. MOUZ are outclassing Bait. There's nothing else to say about this.
Yeah, and that's just been the story of the day, really. I mean, having to play an MIBR that have been on an unbelievable run, really, at this tournament. South American Counter-Strike's looking pretty damn good. You know, when we had these region separations, Asian teams playing in Asia events, South American teams primarily playing South American events. When they get these forays into international waters, you know, at the start of the season, there weren't really good results to speak of. But now they're all coming kind of at the right time. Well, that's Atlanta, Astana, CAC. When we look forward to that capstone for the major, there's a lot to rally behind if you're a South American fan. But Bait didn't want that to be the case. They didn't want to encounter this MOUZ in their first round of the playoffs. JL's just waiting for his moment, and it looks like he's picked the right time to start peering deeper over towards B lane. Damage done onto Essential. It's exchanged right back. NPL's the one that actually suffers at the hands of JL. And they're just getting segmented. Incendiary down, smoke down as well. You can have access to Red Room, but how are you going to bridge this into a bomb site?
Zershan's going to get the better timing on them again, isn't he? Already backs off. They still have 3 players leaning over towards A.
They're running it.
And with 10 seconds, Zalex should be able to stop this bomb before it's even planted. And now that it's on the ground, Sizzy's got no choice but to walk into his death or accept his defeat.
Yeah, this is, I mean, over the past couple of weeks, I've been a little critical of Bates. You know, their T sides a lot of the times on Mirage, on Ancient, these maps that have been the ones that they go to so frequently in the veto, they just exhaust a lot of utility. They want to play out late rounds, bursting together, trading, but sometimes they just don't have the flashes or the smokes that they need to make their jobs or lives easier in cracking those bomb sites. And even in this moment when they, you know, had this deep red control, when they're resetting back towards elbow, they don't have any smokes. And to be honest, once they backed up like that, I actually thought they might even consider a save, because trying to make an A play work with no smokes, teams would avoid that like the plague. There's so many angles. Even with smokes, you could still get spammed. There's no proper safe havens if you can't take over Donut or threaten spawn. Half buy in from Bay, but full blinded is Kenzie, and Spinks alongside Zelex just clean house in mid. They can't even get into a site. They can't even really threaten these rounds properly. They've only won the pistol round in this half.
Oh. Not even a deagle to respond with. Michael, I don't have the code. I've been looking around for a while. I think I might have lost it. You got anything for me? You got the fix?
No,
you got some optimism, Michael?
Listen, the dynamic of our pairing is supposed to be that I have the insights or the opinions, and you just talk about the action. I've given my opinion. I wasn't.
Okay, Michael, I'll talk about the action. Let me dictate the action. Bader dying, and then being red, and then dying as a result of being red.
Yeah, I mean, that's accurate.
Really just MOUZ on a different level right now.
I already gave my opinions. I was not so confident in Bait answering back on this map pick, even if it is a map they love. I'm not sure if you watched the same game I did against MIBR. They were getting styled on.
Yeah, but I also think LMZ is the GOAT.
Yeah, but why was he fragging so hard?
Because he's the GOAT.
He had some great reads in that series. You know, that's what I'll praise in-game leaders for. But when they have massive pop-offs, unless you're Zershan, I guess, I'm not sure I'm putting much credence to it.
Bait want to retake middle, but they won't be given any targets to shoot at as they do so.
Okay, 2 smokes, 4 flashes, and a Molotov. This is enough for a B execution. Sizzy singes his feet in the flames, so Torchy now knows that there's some presence to Cheetah, but they're going to be ramp heavy. You better throw these smokes, you better throw these flashes, you'll need them.
And she's big. Oh my god, he just finishes off Sizzy. That early damage coming back to haunt him. Center left for 21 HP as well, and they are walking wounded. They're walking dead. Zelex comes in. He's been the untouchable man, 13-4 as he's finally put to rest. 2-3, and the third for the CTs is going to be late to be added to this party, but with a Molotov pushing the T's back into a double cave position. Unless they take down Spinks early, if he missteps and comes through Cheetah, this is going to be a very difficult round. They are relying on MOUZ to make a mistake more than themselves to find success. It's never a good place to be. First kill found. NPL's looking away, and this is where Spinks should be able to activate. Comes through from behind. Free skill you're gonna see, but NPL gets it a 3! How has the divine hand intervened in that clutch? Even our observer didn't think that was possible.
Inhuman. Actually inhuman. These are two 180 spins. Instant headshots from NPL. There should be zero chance. Absolutely nil that he wins. That is insane. I don't even know how you would react if you're on that bait side. Game is still live and we're locked in.
We're trying to figure out how they're going to react.
We're locked in on these reactions. I don't know how fired up they are, but that was unbelievable. I'm hoping we get the replay even after this round, because I need to see how on earth he managed that.
Prius is watching this saying, damn, he went to my school. Ukrainian clutch is being missed. MBL crosses by and over. Molotov will not do much to Zalex, so he can still be a factor if he wants to come in for a backstab combined with Spinks. Spinks is being honest. Well, that's a bit too honest about his position. Chapel and Jeet and the CTs will have to go for a push soon unless they want to leave Torsi all alone on this A bomb site. But with a fast move being made from Bait, all alone is the only way it'll be. Remember, Essential's left himself behind. Torsi's dead to the Deeg. And while Zershin comes in with one, Essential should be able to get at least the same while the bomb is planted. Create a bit more of a threat. Essential finds Zershin, and that leaves Zelix and JL. Now only Zelix in a 1 versus 3. Caught in Marina smoke, and a man is Essential, who seems like the easier target to try and take down. Guess only time can deal with the smoke. Zelix down to exactly 1 HP, and Bait will find their 3rd round off the back of his death.
Yeah, I mean, explosive. The Sizzy entry in towards Donut, they identify weakness over on A, and they just burst onto the scene. Guns are blazing. There's a nice shot from Sizzy. But the Kenzie follow-up was too damn devastating to deal with. Third round for Bates. Signs of life, and maybe that NPL clutch is just the spark they needed, but there's more sparks.
Speaking of sparks,
just blowing up in Sizzy's face. Takes the HG right to the noggin, and then gets dealt with. The AWP of Torji also striking at ramp. They try to react. It's 2 openers here for MOUZ.
Torzi adjusts away. Flash is going deep. Bates small run of form might be put to an end soon. Torzi collecting on another. Might have taken what we said about him not being the best op on the server. Personally, with Zershin alone asking for backup to come through, the double peak will be there, and Sentinel's got no chance to get an honest fight out of this. CT's back off and will allow him to dig his own grave. Does he have another ridiculous clutch in him? No. This time Spinks' backstab is going to be successful. MOUZ back to winning ways.
Yeah, sometimes miracles are just odd coincidences. Not enough to reinvigorate Bait coming out of the half. 9-3 is quite significant. They struggled on their CT side versus MIBR earlier today. And Bait staring down the barrel of another massive hill to climb. I wonder just what Madden can say to bring the energy, the belief back into this map for Bait. This is a troubling place to be. First round of the quarterfinals. They were hoping for greater success. They've been in a big event playoff. Made PGL Bucharest playoffs. Lost to Foot. Played a really tight game against a Foot that, now we characterize as one of these teams of the season. Bait have had opportunities like this before. But then facing MOUZ in that opening round, you're talking about a team that have made more recent changes than you have. And just, you see the gap between the two.
It's a stern reminder of why experts and analysts can be so quick to forsake a team coming in from that lower echelon of Counter-Strike. Not because they can't make it, but because of the chasm they have to cross through being so wide. But maybe NPL on the pistol can give them a chance still in this second half. 4 kills to his name, and with this and the 3K from earlier on making up half of his kills and half of their rounds, Bait will look to him to perform even more so.
Hot damn. I mean, if there's going to be a spark, it has been NPL. The clutches, these headshots were just so rapid. MOUZ were hoping to trade, but NPL gave them little opportunity to. So quick to the trigger. 14 kills for NPL. Highlight him as one of the key factors on a map like Ancient. That other factor we were noting is Alex, currently on 1. Maybe that could change, because the rest of the team is looking to get fired up. Full cleanup inside of middle.
Gosh, Alex is sitting on like 15 ADR.
Yeah, it's been a tough time. Every call he made, MOUZ seemed to just be a step ahead.
That was the truth on Overpass. It's been the truth on Ancient, but now MOUZ being on the T side means that he has to be the one to read rather than to dial in the call. Says he. Not solitary, but definitely needs to be a little bit afraid. MOUZ are still clumped out to the bottom of middle. They've taken their sweet time with this.
Going for a late mid execution. CT smokes have faded. One that lands at Donut, one to the red room. So now MOUZ begin their crawl.
And if this is going to be a split out towards the A bomb side, Kenzie's position out in Donut is not insignificant. He can still combine forces, try and cut down JL, look to find solace inside A main, but he's worried about the number of players that are coming over. MOUZ have not made a single step so far. Their silence is going to be problematic, and it needs to be broken soon. That smoke blooms at 44. It'll stay there until about 25, 26 seconds left on the clock, and Kenzie with his A4 is going to be a critical man at that time. HE to soften, but they also do get the revelation of him playing close. Sissy switches back out to Donut. Kenzie will take the one-on-one. If he can take down JL, that would be big. Kenzie and NPL both coming through with the initial kills. MOUZ are being slaughtered on their road to the bomb site, and as more flanks start to be lined up, Alex will be the man you look out to in the late round. Right now, it's a swing from a kill. NPL with another. Kenzie finally taken down, but it's Bait who this time have the perfect reaction to a slow setup on A from MOUZ.
Yeah, exceptional stuff from Kenzie. I mean, he read the situation well. He toyed with walking through the donut smoke at the very start of that slow crawl from MOUZ. Opted against it, re-smoked out donut as well, bought more time. And, once that smoke starts to fade, he cannot continue to play behind it, especially if there's going to be heavy numbers. So he plays position as a priority, found the 1v1 inside of main, and then when you're MOUZ, you just have nowhere to go. You're getting crunched from all sides. So a slow death, a slow suffocation there from MOUZ on the A play. But really, a lot of that is just good understanding of what the next reaction has to be from Kenzie. That was a bit of a chance taken there from NPL. Solo investigation inside of middle. Got the first one, but traded away. Oh, nice shot.
Ooh. That's very nice. Towards insertion. Will be taken out as over here as well. And well, the MOUZ come through with their first gun round. Bait can at least heave a sigh of relief. They've brought things within touching distance. This is now 2 gun rounds away, but more importantly, 1 gun round from us being able to actually say, hey, they're back in it.
Yeah, they're starting to get that form that was so elusive to them here on Ancient. Alex is on to his second kill. Times are good.
Surprised that the nade does as little damage as just 10, but Zelix will still be brought into 1 headshot territory. Essential and KenCzor can make quick work with them. As a result, 4 versus 3. JL now to try and make a move out to and through B ramp. No, he decides against it, wants to combine back for a kill on Kenzie. We'll just play it to provide some safety to his teammates who are coming back for a late round B hit.
Can't lower your guard here if you're bait. A man advantage, sure, but they're split 2 and 2 to the bomb sites. And these B players, I mean, Sizzy has an incendiary, a couple of flashes he can throw, but really honed in on that AWP. Essential spots out the presence in from ramp. The slow crawl begins. Torji already holding for Sizzy to peek out from default. And so that extra stolen utility doesn't arrive. Torji gets both entries, swings out for a third. Kenzie keeping pressure applied, but that rotate is the only one that they had as a real threat to stop the plant. Alex, last man standing. The man on 2 kills needs 2 more to keep the good times rolling.
JL hasn't even revealed himself just quite yet. Could be playing inside. Deep into cave as well. That's what the Molotov comes out for. Alex will not be able to trace JL down. Does actually move past. This is a good position to turn into a one-on-one. Remember, Alex's big advantage is his kit, not necessarily his HP. And honestly, with the angle that Desertion held, wide swinging just makes him more of a target. JL spotted out, but Alex can't get the better of him. I have to say, it's times like this where Bait do show their inexperience. When you spotted out the op on the other side, going out for a dry peek about 35, 36 seconds when there's nothing to be lost by throwing a flashbang, or just holding down on the cave, it's one of those ego challenges that would work against oppositions not named MOUZ Sports.
Yeah, where they would get distracted by the fact that they spotted a player long and focus in on that, or, you know, not take the chance and peek the next angle. I don't disagree. You know, it's not as though Essential didn't have a flash that he could throw actually to set Sizzy up as well. But those are the types of things that extra chemistry, that extra teamwork, it doesn't come as an instinct.
And Dorsey collects on 2 incredible kills because of it. 10-7 the streak of 4 in a row for Bait has to be different to Overpass, where they get a couple of rounds and that's all she wrote. I'll start off with a boost from Torzy. He gets another great kill out into B, and that leaves Essential alone. No one will be coming over to help him. He needs a big multi, a crossover with a jump, and JL still gets a better off him. But still, elsewhere, KenCzor found a kill on the lurker, so they can make this a 3 versus 3 retake. Never easy when Torzy's still alive in a potential post-plant. They haven't even put the bomb down. JL comes in from behind. He's just making this terror on the server. Sizzy taken down by a JL backstab that he never expected in the slightest. MOUZ are working them, and Cyclone giggles in the background.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, that's the type of thing that JL is actually so good at. It's what he was so somewhat able to do for so long on that Na'Vi roster, is actually just know when to press the attack. You know, when Essential is caught, taken down to low HP inside of Cave, he springs to action, knows he's low health himself, and so he starts to take a risk, and once he got past that smoke, realized there was no CT presence, knows that the remaining CT rotations had to be in front of it. So yeah, just really nicely done. Good heads up play, double HE right onto Essential's head. You're gonna dodge the Molotov. That one cubby will not be your safety. And they forced. They had the chance to play 2 gun rounds. The one that went by, they took a save here. They could have had another gun round, fight for the OT. But they decide for 2 force buys instead. Oh, okay. They were gonna give each other the smoke, but they pulled the pin on it. Says he's shooting at his dead teammate. Runs in for the M4 and will escape with it as well. So it's a really high priority weapon to have retrieved.
Can he do anything with it? HE to help weaken. That's a good place to start. It's NPL who's fought back when he's being abandoned, not just with 1, but 2 big kills. Sizzy now, that M4 will shine. The force buy to prevent MOUZ from finding an early 12.
I guess it's a little bit of justice here for Bates. Got force bought earlier on, and so why not do one back? They don't want to fight for OT. They want to prevent it.
Torsi on this T side has been really good, by the way. Just want to give him his flowers when maybe we had some criticism coming out of Overpass. MOUZ's first timeout being put to use. It's an opportunity for Bait to also have a conversation amongst themselves about how to proceed for these next few rounds. Always a double-edged sword to use a timeout at a point like this when your opponent doesn't have any left.
And they'll have things to discuss themselves. You know, moments like that where Essential loses his life entirely to utility. It didn't look like this force buy was off to a hot start, but that Mission Impossible objective of retrieving that M4 and getting away, that ended up having a pretty big influence on the round. So Bait know what they have to do to win through some of these moments. Knowing is half the battle. Executing on it is another half. It's good damage onto JL on the spam. But they're just kind of running interference over at B. Bomb is actually on the A side of things. JL almost taken down to completion through walls.
Bait are ready with 3 on A. They're expecting this. It's only a question of how hard can MOUZ sell this fake out on B. Sizzy with the HE. Torsi looking to contact. Torsi gets a kill over here. That's going to be certainly very useful, but Alex taking him down. Puts a spanner in the works still. CTs are starting to sway away. They can't believe that Torsi would be out alone lurking through. It's only Sizzy left. Even an HE chucked into the 3 of them wouldn't be bad at all. But he's got HEs popping and pumping overhead. Brought down low, but not brought down completely. Can see spotted out on the flank. They're rotating back to B, but the CTs will be in place. Alex has been able to move back through, and NPL covers the mid ground. JL was low, let's not forget, so Alex finds it as an easy completion.
This is a save now.
The kill, he started off with a spam.
Yeah, I mean, this is just simply a save now. They thought they might have found a way out. JL was crawling in through cave, heard the rotates away from spawn, and then by the time he gets back, Bait are also on the scene. So that was the only real way out. They got stopped from their initial barrage out from A main, and they didn't fancy their chances. Nades landed round the top of that A anchor, but not enough to take him down to completion. And so off of a force buy, Bait have answered with back-to-back rounds. MOUZ are trapped at 11, using another timeout, just to make sure they orchestrate a plan together before this game gets completely out of hand. Came into the second half, 9-3 advantage for MOUZ.
Yeah.
And with the way that they've been playing, with the earlier result from Bait on this map, easy to start thinking this game might be over. But all they needed was a bit of a spark, a moment, a performance from NPL. 23-16.
Sheesh.
And the rest of the team seem to have gotten the memo. He can't be the only one. Alex came into the half with 1 kill. And he's found another one to add to the tally as an opener.
3 people making their way to Red Room. The smoke will dissipate as well. Spinks will trade short, but they don't know there's a second player around, and NPL knew that the bomb was dropped. Alex gets the jump on Zelix as well, but NPL might have made the misstep. That still gives MOUZ a chance back into this.
Yeah, Sershin can take some space over towards A. It's the open runway right now, doubled up inside of Cheetah. Our Bait just clearing out the B lane, limiting the options here for MOUZ in the late round. So Sershin will call it pretty clear. But they'll start to piece this one together. If nobody's making any noise, peeking anything on the A site, then they must be doing something elsewhere. Essential can set up for a flank. If MOUZ don't get a move on, then, I mean, they're going to get approached in from all sides.
And normally Zershin would be the player I favor in one-on-one, but when he has only a Deagle to turn around and take care of his backlines, is not going to be easy. It's going to be impossible. Stings needs a full ace clutch, and he won't even get the chance to it. Sizzy shuts him down. Bait are within touching distance, 10-11 on their own map pick.
You can certainly see that round maybe getting away from Bait if they weren't too careful. They were split up. I mean, the worst thing you can do when you're at a numbers advantage is allowing the opponent to get isolated 1v1s. Not too dissimilar to a 1vx clutch. They take these fights independently, they win them out, and yeah, Bait are chomping at the heels of a MOUZ that thought they might have had an easy day at the office here in these quarterfinals.
MOUZ coming with a half buy and a hero. One of those half-buy weapons are already gone. Sizzy's been doing well to recover lost form. He as well didn't have a good first half at all. But coming into the CT side, what with the kill on his Spinks than previous, but more importantly, the double kill that he found with his recovered M4. He's had his own big moments of impact.
Right, that... I'm not sure if that's the smoke they were really looking for.
That's what Spinks is saying too.
It's a little shallow, but they'll walk through it and get themselves into a position where they can threaten Cave. Maybe that's just to throw them off. Bait didn't face check it, so Essential has to concede position. Smoke on short now. They're losing ground on this B-bomb side. They are that man up. And they do have a couple of HEs that can displace MOUZ if they do decide to commit to that plan. HE goes deep in from JL. Essential trying to bridge the gap, but as they continue swinging, it's just all kills coming up Bait's side. Essential with a double. Alex will combine for a third. So now it's Torzi, ace clutch from inside of Cage with a P250, simply too tall a task. Bait have closed the gap. A tie game, 11-11. Bait picking into this Ancient, justifying it in the CT side.
They want to do one more. Remember, you said it, Michael, they're fighting to prevent overtime. And the pressure amounts is going to be immense. They're going to continue to think back to that anti-force fight that they end up conceding in a 5 versus 4. They're going to go back and think of all the different opportunities they had, all the calls where they've been read. And MOUZ has now called out timeout after timeout after timeout. There's 3 timeouts in 4 rounds.
Well, if you're Cyclone and you're thinking it might go to OT, you may as well exhaust them all, because you don't retain them moving into that overtime. You get the 1.
He's not looking quite as giggly as he did it somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're going to giggle. Of course you're going to smile when everything's going your way. And this was it's a problem that MOUZ have had for some time. You know, when we looked at them as those second place finishers last year, there were quite a few chokes in there. Quite a few maps where they had significant leads, and it was squandered. Shifting up the roster, that's supposed to try and deal with some of that as well. If everyone thinks that the game isn't over until it's over, and they can all visualize it slipping away, you have to bring in a little bit of delusion and a younger player that hopefully isn't affected by that. But again, MOUZ have been in these positions before. Let's just see if it actually falls foul upon them once again. Bait are looking red hot on this defense.
Says AW will not be disabled in any way, shape, or form. NPL spots them out, but re-peeking is a mistake. Giving up your top performer at 11 aside makes this a bit more complicated. You need Alex to perform, and he's had his moments. But this is the most pressure he's seen in a long while.
Good timing to block. I mean, MOUZ were about to spring to life on this B play. They spotted Alex. If there was no reaction utility-wise from Bait, they were going to continue to pounce.
MOUZ are rotating back over towards the A side, and Sissy will not be in position. Does Sissy get an eye line out on Donut? He has to take that first peek. Looks out for a second. Bomb could have been dropped, but Jail's movement in mid-air is what makes it different. NC rotates back in, defends him from CT, and MOUZ lose the advantage. They could be losing more. Spinks has to protect. That's exactly what he does. But a blind Sissy walks out into the field of battle only to find guns blazing right back in his face. 1-on-2. Torzi peeks back into a corner, and Alex beheads him. JL left alone. Could be anywhere, could be anywhere. And as Alex turns away from the man who will be his undoing, JL can take the easy slide out. But now Alex suspects, now Alex spots, now Alex chases. JL cornered in, has played the time, has played the man, and Alex without a chance there. JL again saving MOUZ Sports.
Yeah, and he can't help but grin, laugh it off. The situation getting a little hairy. Triple kill from JL in a dire circumstance. Committed to the plant, forced the fight, flashes in, and capitalized on a blind Sizzy. Played his position perfectly in the 1v1 as well. You're right to highlight, you know, for Alex, JL could have been absolutely anywhere. Fast call here from MOUZ, though. They want to punch this all the way through. JL down, can't commit to the spam. Essential there is support, and Essential eventually traded, as is NPL, but Alex is still kicking. Slid himself into a corner in this long side, and he'll find the kill onto Zelix. Torji just so damn low. A 1-on-3. No AWP in hand, and bomb completely detached. It's out on that B bomb site.
Is this not the most entry fragger IGL thing imaginable? Guys, we just won a 1v3. We're better than them. Rush B.
Yeah, I mean, tried to go for a knockout punch, but Bait had their guard up.
Torchi's left twiddling his thumbs. He's listening to the birds in the sky. Taking a moment to enjoy being on match point. Because I don't think he'll be there for long.
Yeah, I don't know if you can enjoy this moment.
Counter-terrorists win.
There it is. Bait have done it. They didn't crumble. They didn't falter. Not to this fast play from MOUZ as the finisher. They could have waited for a gun round, played for the OT. They still eventually manage into the OT with clutches falling out of their favor. But for MOUZ, they'll feel saddened they couldn't close. A 9-3 advantage coming out of that first half. Their T side just as poor as what Bait put forward. And it has been a close game. But this Bait didn't go down with a whimper. They got blown out in the upper bracket final against MIBR on this map earlier today. And that wouldn't happen twice. When Bait are playing like this, it justifies. It shows exactly why they love picking into Ancient. MOUZ are not shy from this map either.
Yeah.
And so it was a risk, but one that may be worthwhile. They have ground MOUZ down. It's overtime. It's anyone's game now. Bait with the momentum, but some economic struggles for MOUZ trying to close out the map. No longer a consideration. Totally passive on the side of Bait. No one challenging for that mid control. That was a focus for MOUZ at the opener here of the overtime. And as they group themselves up, NPL actually catches Spinks in transition, lingering a little too long on ledge.
NPL starts to move back over to the B-bomb set as well, where they're already playing defensively. This is a game of retakes, shooting through smokes. Is how the CTs expect to get most of their success. Smoke down from Zalex. Spam's not going to be on the money. Jail able to jump over and boss that laser beam of bullets. And as Essential finds two big ones, NPL will find the space to move through a smoke for his own second kill. Dorsey left in a 1 versus 4, and he's got nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, great spray down there for Essential to hold on to long control, but really good recognition of the situation from NPL. There was a smoke at the entrance to cave. They didn't feel comfortable entering the bomb site without another one on short, so there had to be this gap between the cave smoke and the short one, and that was the gap that NPL exploited. Trusted Essential to lock things down, and he does exactly that. First round out of the overtime, Bait pull through, and Cyclone is trigger happy on these timeouts. He's not liking what he's been seeing. It's really, it's really not that often that you go first round of the OT and first round immediate timeout called. But he wants to try and nip it in the bud early. He's been trying to do that throughout this Bait comeback.
Not a lot of nipping.
Yeah, only nip is on Bait. NPL, still 28 kills. Still the leader.
God. Entry goes deep, will dodge out most, but JL who's brought down even lower. They find Alex completely out in the open, blinded up as well. Essential tries to cover the cross, will be unable to do so, and MOUZ have found their first real note of success in a long time.
Oh my god. Man, when it works, it really works. Is this the Cyclone call? Because that was picture perfect. One deep nade thrown from the site, up close to the ramp smoke, and MOUZ just pounce. Bait were not in position to deal with that whatsoever. slight off timing on the execution, and they get completely ran over.
Terrorists win.
Whether or not that was the
outside
cycle.
of JL's 1 versus 3, this is the first round that MOUZ has won, quote unquote, honestly, in about 6.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just convincingly as well, right? Well, out of all the rounds on their T side, this is probably the best looking one, so.
Yeah. Bait need to remind themselves of that and actually come out with a 14-13. Let's not make any mistakes. Bait's T side looked abysmal, and while I do think that it won't be quite as bad with NPL and Alex now being a little bit more closer to their norm and maybe beyond it, Sentinel is dead. Sorry, buddy. Sphinx is feeling good. But where Alex is able to come in, it's a fast adjustment from Torsi that's required to stop that from being a multi-kill. Torsi stays his hand and keeps it close over to mid. Low HP or not, he doesn't want to give this up. He's expecting re-aggression, and Bait will not provide.
I mean, you have to be nervous if you're Bait. You're still spread pretty thin on the map. And this is usually around the time where, especially in the 45-second prompt, you'll want to hunt for some kind of information. Kenzie, the most he'll do is just jump spot in from that red room. And now he decides to link up over B, so there is a void of information here for Bait. But they may have the right read. Mid players joining up with JL, who starts his crawl. Lurk smoke down. Kenzie playing the side of it, and he'll find JL before they can really get into position to spring into this site. Man advantage here for Bait.
I believe that was a misthrown CT smoke, in fact.
Well, it just looked like an awkward Lurk one in the end.
Yeah. Kenzie pushed out. And insertions crosshair says he's still ready and ready with the AWP. Needs to find at least one. He's done his job. Can he do more than it? Yes, he can! Bait come through with 14, and now they look out to the side they struggled on, their T side. Waits to see whether it's been a change for the better.
Yeah, I mean, just good decision to link up together on that bomb side. Had they played completely separated, you know, MOUZ would have likely tried to account for a secondary player on B. But Sizzy, even while flashed, able to stabilize in time. I do agree with you. This T side shouldn't look as woeful from Bait. It's not just about NPL, not just about Alex. The rest of the roster is hitting shots. That was something that just wasn't the case for a lot of that first half. Before the engine started roaring on CT side, the aim just looked off. So going back on the attack, yeah, you know, tactically there can be some issues for Bait. But if they can just convert on a couple more trades, a couple more entries, they'll really put MOUZ under a lot of pressure. If they didn't already feel it, they may just feel it in the second half of the overtime. No more timeouts for Cyclone. If he has more, we'll know about it.
He's a man waiting for his next timeout fix. And MOUZ are hoping that the CT side will provide the fix they need to how things have been going. Spinks has stepped up in a big way in these past 5 or 6 rounds. He's hoping to continue performing and providing impact. Dorzia, on the other hand, was not quite the same raging, roaring T-side offer.
CT Cole, though. I mean, they vacate the bomb sites. They want to fight for mid.
They decide against it. Over and back to B. Double smokes out to long and short. JL and Zershin Dorsey fully blinded out, has to duck behind the smoke. The long smoke is missed completely. JL watches out and he loses the duel. Long smoke being missed works against him, but Zershan with the smoke down to try and lurk around will be spotted out and brought down. Sizzy, how's he hit that shot? How's he hit the second? Looking fierce out on B. And despite some stumbles, Bait still look to mark their way down to 15. Sizzy, close range duel still necessary. And my God, is he looking unbeatable. Had the read on Spinks as well, but he'll let his Sentinel run away with that kill.
The form from Sizzy can be a little touch and go, especially on this map. Has not necessarily always had the impact, but when he has hit one shot, you can expect more that follow. A great sequence from the young AWPer. Because MOUZ were in the right position. They got the information they wanted from middle. They prepped for a B hit. They get incendiaries down. They block the smoke that lands on short. The long one doesn't even land correctly. You notice it's on top of the stairs. And they just battle through it. I thought Zershan was almost guaranteed to land a multi when Bait get trapped at ramp. But that's where Sizzy comes to the table. NPL still leading the way, 98 ADR. But for where he was, he has slowed down. It's been other pieces that have stepped up to the task.
Exactly what you want. NPL gives them the time they need, and Sizzy's the one who chooses to rear his head up in response.
That's beautiful.
Looks up for more. He's feeling good, but maybe not that good.
Yeah, one time, fine. 2 times, okay. 3 times, you're asking for it.
Critical duel, and he's lost it. JL will be spotted and expected as well. Sentinel knows there should be a second CT nearby. A deep smoke from JL that's gone too deep, and he hopes it'll just give him and Zelex time to come through. Molotov is well placed to defend their teammates, but instead it's going to be a trap. JL and Zelex both chime in with a kill apiece in NPL. Without the bomb in this A bomb site, it's going to feel awfully dry. Has got to find a route over to B, and look, he's chosen the best one. Zelex is low. Should he win this 1 versus 1, there's still plenty of time to make this an interesting round. But he's now decided against it. He's thinking about red room. No. Zelex has a headshot angle. This is not bad for either HP or not. He will spot out NPL's head as it's mid-air. And Bait, who felt like they were ready, are going to be undone by the newest member of the MOUZ Sports team.
Yeah, that looks really, really nervy there for MOUZ. You could see JL unsure about whether to commit to the fight or back himself away. Zelex is en route. He doesn't want to leave him alone, but he gets mollied out. He knows about a player inside the cubby. Player's likely to run through the smoke inside of main. Him adjusting to that duel, likely saving the round in some way. But it is that impact from Zelex that gets them back on the board. One more round needed for OT or the win. Sizzy dealt with a Molotov that finds Spinks, but Zershan doubles up. It's Flames that find both kills for this T side to start.
Zelex might have a timing over here. He's in the perfect position. MOUZ should not lose this. As long as a Sentinel doesn't get some sort of revelation to go back out in the middle and check that one small corner.
Yeah, that would be the nightmare, as if Bait tried to make a fast rotation away from B and they start landing on top of his head.
They're worried about a mid player.
This is all in from MOUZ. Because of Zelex's position, they're also doubled up inside of the B bomb site.
Frozen in tension, but every second that goes by, this becomes more and more likely to be MOUZ to come out on top, but Zelix makes a move, and his timing couldn't be better. He might have lost his duel. Zelix will do the same. No! They had it down to rights, and JL instead will stand to save the day as he has so often. How many 1v3s is he going to deliver? MOUZ are not out of it yet.
I have a full minute.
How on earth does he manage that? Clutches, multi-kills here on Ancient. JL is keeping them cool. He's keeping them in it. That round looked like it was done.
I feel his pain.
There have been miracle moments on this second map, whether it's the 1v3 from NPL or this time the 1v3 from JL. Neither team willing to take the L here on Ancient.
Gosh.
I won't read too much into the reactions of Fate. They almost always look like they're in despair, even when they're winning. But I know for a fact JL is smiling after this one. Because there couldn't be a more important moment for him to show that veterancy.
This is why JL was brought onto the team. But the rest of MOUZ still have to deliver, and deliver they will not in middle, not when Kenzie's coming alive back into Overpass Round.
How do you
Ladies and
stop,
gentlemen,
how do you stop Kenzie?
we have a match in our hands.
What, you didn't think we did already?
Listen, man, I thought that would be it. I thought Bait was going to crumble to the pressure, crumble to the lost opportunity. But a response like that, hell yeah.
I told you, they're in an unending row of despair. You can't trust those camera reactions. Okay, 1v3, but they're making extra sure that this one doesn't fall away. Torchy with the AWP is nowhere to be seen. And now they just decide to spring in for the attempt. There's the first of what could be two more. Hold the phone, Bait. Make sure that you're in good after plans. This is a tough nut to crack now. High and low elevation, but Torchy switched to the AK. It's a bad plan, too. Oh! From tree! He looks for it, but Kenzie gets the kill he needs to. He's out in the open, has to brawl. Plant is imperfect. Oh my god, hell of a shot from Torchy. Just that instant tap, you start to believe.
Heart attacks, eh?
Yeah,
and there could still be one more map in this.
Yeah, but I mean, you can only hope. An incredible opening sequence from Kenzie, but what he starts, he also has to finish. Good nade down ramp, already weakening Sizzy and Alex. Not insignificant, especially with those M4s on field. Sizzy is really keen to be given a chance on that boost. And Kenzie has taken a lot of space in middle.
Torchy. Oh, head taken off immediately. Kenzie has locked in.
Lord.
Up to 27 kills. Only shadow he's chasing is on his own team. NPL, the only man with more. And just by 2. Does get 1, does get 2. Spots out essential as well. He's got an idea there should be another player coming in from behind. His Sentinel forces in and through too early. So his advantage lost to MOUZ because of it. One can still be planted. And with how far away Yuanshen is, MOUZ are likely to take their sweet time with things. Sizzy, a chance to shine, and the same is true for Alex, but a critical missed shot. Sizzy felt like he had that one. Alex starts to turn back over. He knows there's two players coming through, and with Yuanshen having information on there being an op ready, Sizzy is now caught between battles. A flashbang through, turns around. Good presence of mind to be watching out for a main, but he turns away at the worst possible time. There were opportunities here for Bait to flourish, but instead, it is MOUZ to come through off the back of a tall performance from Spinks.
Oh, he got hit with the team flash. The flash was right where it was asked for, but going a little too early, and then I think because of that as well, Sizzy maybe thought he had to take over some responsibilities to look at spawn, and that's when Yuanshen came in on that flank. A decent chance at that, even at the man deficit. Really nice effort from Spinks to just shut down this entire progress from Donut. That's exactly what you want an anchor to do in a moment like that. They thought they might have found a weakness. Not when Spinks is on the table. So it'll be a response timeout here from Madden. Trying to make sure that they get the most out of this T-side. These T-side rounds have been fleeting in this map. Everyone worth its weight in gold. Kenzie overtaking NPL for ADR. That's a miss smoke. Good emphasis from the observer, but the absence of players on that mid floor will definitely make it more difficult for really bear any consequence. Kenzie just gets out a little earlier. There's a crunch from Lane and Elbow. But this is how MOUZ have typically responded. JL down that ramp, Torji alongside him. Later looking for it. Essential offers up his glance, but JL doesn't stick around to see if there's a player that will spring to action. Flick down from Torji. He adjusted, but he overflicks, and so it will be an opener here for Bait. NPL finds it.
Torji's lost so many critical duels in this overtime phase. JL with the AWP takes matters into his own hands. Spinks is in a good spot. And we just saw what he can do when he feels comfortable. Bait creeping over. No, are they turning back?
Oh my god.
They recalled, and that means Sizzy's turned around and away from Spinks at the worst possible time. Spinks just peeks out again. Bait are in disarray.
They don't know which way to go, where they can finish. But all they should have known was to avoid Spinks, dink for dink. Almost a fourth kill there for Spinks, but low time. Kenzie, knife out, nade will finish the job. Yuanshen, in style, closes a second round on this CT side. Spinks just manufacturing triple kills in defense of A. Bait will just have to remember that in the following overtime, if there's one to come, don't go to his bomb site. There'll be some time just to discuss how things are going to look. Always remembering to, you know, when we enter that first overtime, you're sticking on the same side at the start. But if there are any new plans, any new concoctions, any adaptations you can make, it's time to iron them out. That lineup for Spinks is nasty.
And while it does feel like MOUZ is getting into territory where they should, or at least could, close, let's not forget it's Bait CT side where they found the most comfort. Where NPL was a walking, talking, natural disaster. Good first kill for Essential, but as MOUZ line up to try and execute onto A, there's still going to be 2 players ready and waiting.
Oh no.
Incendiary doesn't go where it's supposed to, but I suppose it does block out Xanax's pathing in some ways. It gives him a better path. Sizzy will not be happy about that one bit as MOUZ walk back over to match point as long as they can find 2 more kills. And NPL, as impressive as he's been, it's Alex to now stand in and stand tall. Another triple on the A bomb side could be delivered, but Alex will have to hide away. He's worried about what Spinks is coming through with. JL's Molotov can be dodged out, and NPL is back on the side. He picks up Spinks, puts him down, but JL's Molotov, it lasts so long and he can't stop laughing his way to the bank.
What is happening in this bait camp? The missed incendiary from Kenzie has massive repercussions. They get out from main. They get caught by a flash. This effort from Alex to start is so damn good. And then when JL springs to life, yeah, those flames just lasting 1 or 2 more ticks. Alex didn't count it properly. And so MOUZ now have 2 chances. 2 T rounds to close out this series. Opening round of the quarterfinals, Bait would be pleased they made it this far. But after grinding back into this game, after trailing for so long, forcing it into the overtime, put in bad positions, having to win 4 spies just to put themselves on the map, we reach a double overtime. And mistakes are made. MOUZ will be laughing if they close right here, right now.
Sizzy. This time you can't blame a flop Molotov on anything going wrong. He has the right idea. He's got the right position. Will he get the right shots? A lot of Bait are being swayed away to A, but as they to B. As the MOUZ attack now comes in, Sizzy gets his first miss. Kenzie will buy him a bit more time, and more than that, he's given him 2 big kills. Sizzy has no reason to think for more. He realizes it now. Backs off and away. And MOUZ shift their threat levels back over to Donut rather than main, but in a 3-on-5, Kenzie's are wanting to push through and find information about it. It's something he could and will end up regretting.
Gotta be careful when JL's on field. This man's had plot armor this map. The clutches he's won. That shouldn't be winnable. Sizzy gets another 2-man advantage here for Bait, but they're closing that distance. Incendiary is very well placed. 30 seconds, and that bomb is deep inside of A main. There's just no possibility that MOUZ can get there in time. Xerxin is frantically running back towards main to see if there is any way back in, but JL needs to find kills, and NPL hits the deck, but that bomb also on the floor. JL will join it. Bait don't go down so simply. Another full overtime and another chance to make it 1 more.
It's between these 3, right? First, Kenzie, Essential, and NPL, who are just coming through with such important kills. Essential maybe less towards the multi-kills. He's been more of a consistent factor all from the beginning of the game to now. But Kenzie and NPL in these past, 10 rounds or so, man, have they been delivering the stopping power that's needed from Bait.
And you know, Bait made mistakes in the round prior. MOUZ were the ones that made mistakes this time. Missed flashes from Torji, and the scaling was all wrong. Neither playing the most refined game, still error prone.
NPL spots that Molotov. Finds that turnaround. Flashbang is great. Gets himself 2 kills. And Spinks re-peeking back over will be number 3. And with the bomb on the ground, MOUZ has to go back to recover. JL dodging flashes, but not bullets. Leaves Zelex alone. With quick one tap. Takes away Sizzy's life, but in a 1-on-3, he's not been the one famed for clutches.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you have Bomb. Just again, Bait will sit on top of that thing like a nest egg. This
Look at that line of frags.
forbidden line for MOUZ.
And PL could look for the ace over here as well. That's going to be the plan. It is looking for an ace from far, far away. Select spotted. Only in front to try and give him a little bit of cover. It won't be the ace, but it will be 18 aside as Bait will stay alive.
And so we run it back. We do it again. MOUZ unable to get the rounds necessary on that T side, but that has been the case throughout this game. It has been T side struggles, CT performances, clutches, back and forth. Nothing Madden or Cyclone says has necessarily fixed it all through this game. There are many series we'll go through where both teams don't necessarily use all of their timeouts. Not enough to say. Maybe nothing to say. But these both have been very quick to try and get ahead of it. In this first round of the quarterfinals, they know neither is necessarily playing perfectly. And doing their best to try and influence it, but it has been damn near perfect on these CT sides from NPL. The rest of his team join him in their contributions, but while he slows down, maybe doesn't get as much of that X factor on T side, finds perfect timing to strike to keep Bait in it. Three mid start, but it's looking like a fast play here from MOUZ. Just quick flash. See if there's going to be a change in pace from Bait on this CT. But Kenzie's inside of the elbow smoke. This is crazy.
Kenzie, no.
Too crazy.
Yeah. The wheels on the bus have not just gone round and round, they've come right off. And that leaves a vacuum in middle. One that both teams will be fighting for, moving out through the smoke. Essential's in good position. Alex and Essential find the 2 kills necessary to then move back over to B. The hair utility coming in. They don't even need to fight now.
No.
Zershan will be given the freest frags of his life. They swing out as a result of the Molotov. It's the same play that's been used 10 times over. But at least Sizzy will equalize. And NPL's been Wonder Boy. Here on CT side. Smoke will dissipate. He's nestled in the cubby. It's all down to Sizzy and Zershan. Sizzy on the close range duel will not get the shot off in time. Torzi will allow NPL to come through from the side, but the early pre-fire doesn't help him in the slightest. Comes in once again. A headshot. That's all he could deliver before Torzi shoots back.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. They find a great reaction. They get the double kill. They do what they need to bring themselves back into the round after KenzieZor makes a very ambitious play, over pushing past elbow. But when that Molotov hits, they want to get ahead of the play. They could have played within the cave, but they wanted more.
Probably want to make that a 4 versus 3. Fight for the retake. Make sure they can't get the crossover. But the greed will be their undoing, and MOUZ is hoping that it can be their setup for success. And the CT side rounds that have been few and far in between Torzi spotted out on the boost up, and Sizzy gets a perfect adjustment.
Yeah, he just barely spotted him on the first jump and realized in time. 1-4 in Pixel, and that's all he needs to react. Good re-clear on middle here for Bait. Even in a man-up situation, you want that information quick so they can fast flank into cave if they need be. NPL doesn't need to make a move further than this. Oh, Zelex, yeah, he'll check the behind of JL just in time. I could open up a window here for Kenzie where he might go uncleared. But MOUZ may do their due diligence.
You're relying so heavily on Alex over here. Molotov will force him away from the angle. They will not have heard where he was though, but with a flashbang that's well placed and Alex got out in the open, Sizzy will be forced away by the flames this time. No, the Molotov goes deep and Spinks just takes his head off because of it. Kenzie, you said he might be unexpected, is between him and Essential. Zershan brought down low, but not brought down. And they don't have any more offensive utility. It's flashes to push through. Zelex is as blind as a bat, but Zershan in the meanwhile will be as deadly as one instead. It's a quick peek out from Essential, meets 3 to close. Zelex will need the same, and it's a triple from Essential that pushes him over the brink. 3 HP, 3 kills, and the CT round that Bait desperately needed.
Oh, that was such an important clutch. Doesn't really feel like they have business winning that. MOUZ actually came up with such a crafty solution. They had minimal resources, one smoke to play off of. They smoke off the entrance of cave. They crawl out the backside of it into the bomb site, set up a flash, and then start fighting their way through the long side. But then they just get chewed through on the numbers, set up in that after plant. Yeah, they didn't expect the flank, but Essential had to come through clutch, positioned perfectly. And the aim to boot. 30 kills for Essential now. Him and Kenzie Zor join NPL in that club. They've cracked into B. They just braved the smoke over at the B ramp. They've got enough space where they can plant. This could just be a full 5-on-5 after.
Kenzie taken down, NPL as well. It's not going to be quite as kind to Bait as that, Michael. Another cross necessary, and Essential's the only man left of the 3 who have any form. Sizzy at least gets his 1 kill before dying, so chances haven't really changed all too much, but with Alex being the last one live, he's been near this B bomb site for the longest of times, been unable to find any impact, and MOUZ with the critical second round T-side win.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what they need. They've been able to find success on that CT side. Pretty much no bother throughout the overtimes. It has been the T side that's fallen away from them, so the fact they get these 2, that could be it. This could be the end of the road. It's not as though Bait didn't get close in a few of those T-side rounds. Spinks was the spoiler to many Bait plans. How many different strats, how many different looks can you hope for? They'll really rely upon these, I mean, the Flare players on that T side. Sizzy.
Yeah.
Kenzie Zor.
And if you're lucky, then maybe NPL can show up on the aggressive side as well. MOUZ in the meanwhile, they've had their fair share of performances out from the riflers. It's been Torzi who's been notoriously quiet. Don't get yourself confused. 25 and 26 is not an accurate depiction of form. He was 17 and 10 before. But a critical kill here, critical kill there, and all can be forgotten. Good grenades. Give Bait a poor start. Bomb still left in T-spawn, and with Torsi finding that critical kill I mentioned, it might be time for Alex to turn back and go pick it up.
It's just been the gap that they've exploited so many times. When Bait focus on mid control, they push B ramp on the MOUZ side. Oh, wow.
Binks is out of bullets over here, though he didn't realize it. A rare error. But Zershan's coming in from behind. He spotted them out as well. Information given up and a kill with it to boot. MOUZ is looking to get their way back up to match point again. But it's been so many positions they haven't capitalized on. Alex, with the bomb being planted, 4 HP, is hoping beyond hope that he can be the one who makes a difference.
They've got no utility. I mean, no smokes, nothing that they can use to obscure or make Alex's life too uncomfortable. Just that one flash, and so they couple together. Alex is hoping they play it slow. Full reposition, back through main, over to Donut.
Yeah. Now the smoke picked up. First blood taken away. Torsi's inside the smoke. Can Alex get it done? Bait will survive! 4 HP and a triple kill from Alex. It feels like this is the map of 1 versus 3s.
There's simply no way. The smoke goes too wide. He sees the back of Torsi just before that flash blinds him completely. And in the chaos, that slow roll from MOUZ, they didn't know where Alex could or couldn't be. They just didn't want to give him an opportunity. They instead gift him one. That reposition was ballsy, but his only way out, his only win condition. There have been many a brave soul on this Ancient.
You need to flash Torsi off. Moving away from the angle. Torsi still gets his critical kill. Oh. And where there's one, there's a second. Now Torsi gets to come alive. Alex turns him away from further success. And they still have the choice to reset. They've got full mid control, and with Alex smoked off, that might be the decision they go for. JL is the critical deal. They've got no choice but to win, but he will take that one window away from them. Essential comes back over. Now, I love this play from Zershan. Look at how deep he's going. He's decided to go all the way back to T-spawn, play outside of the B doors, and only serve to segment them off and away. But this kill from Essential is so incredibly critical. Going for a second. Borderlines on a blunder.
Well, he needed a 1v2 last round. They need another one right now. More health to play with, but less position. Beautifully played there from Zelex. Total off angle. Not one that Alex would have anticipated whatsoever. And so MOUZ have another chance to put an end to Ancient. They're already a map up in this series. It felt so long ago that we were talking about that overpass. Bait need this. Timeout used by Madden to try and craft something up. But I don't know what you could cook that MOUZ haven't been able to turn the stove off for. This has been a game where there has been so many clutches, big moments, multi-kills from players you kind of least expect. That's a very, very important one from Torsi. MOUZ have been the one that have gotten the better of the clutches. The Bait need a perfect call.
An early kill on the Sphinx would have been good. He's been such a nightmare on this CT side. Not possible to get onto the A-bomb side without conceding at least 2 kills to him. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, only way past him is if he mismanages his ammo.
Yeah.
side is where Bait are positioning themselves for, and early utility will indicate that too, but they're still thinking of whether it's worth to even run away.
Searching. Oh, great position. They don't clear it. They simply don't clear the cubby. Only 2 remaining here from Bait. They got chewed out on the A-Lurk too. Essential right behind Sizzy. Taking a lot of damage, neither healthy, and so MOUZ will close. A 22-20 result. MOUZ just battled through all the hardship, all the heartbreak. They almost choked this Ancient, but Bait came in with such flair, such composure, so many big moments. It will be a heartbreaking defeat, a map that they have relied upon in their pool so many times over.